And then now episode 4.
Episode 4. So we're going to get into episode 4. Like, he's trying to find a system that has...
That they can, like, hide low and just, like, chill.
Yeah,
and
very, like, backwater. Doesn't have a space.
He can raise his son in peace.
Yeah.
Because it's his son now.
Yeah, so he finds this planet. I think they named this one, but I can't remember
Yeah,
what
they
it
named
is.
it, but yeah.
But the episode starts out with this village being invaded by this raider band type
At first I was like, they're bringing orcs into this? Or
Yeah, I know. Orc guy coming in.
Yeah.
So it's like this fisher village. They've got like blue...
It's really cool. They're like these like shrimp. No, they call them krill.
Yeah, krill.
But they don't look, because krill are actually very small.
Yeah.
But like they just look like these cool, like big, like blue, vibrant shrimp.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat one.
I'm allergic, so I couldn't eat one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they bring like all of this in. They have like an attack and everything. They show this like mom and her daughter like hiding.
Oh man, like that was so tense because like they're because like they had these little like ponds for like farming these krill, and she's like they don't have time to run away, and so like she grabs her daughter, pulls her into the pond, and they just put like a basket over the top of their head.
Yeah.
And they just like sit there and wait for them to leave while they're hearing all this destruction going on. And I was just like, this is so intense.
Yeah. And like what's interesting, her kid was trying to catch a frog. Mm-hmm. Like trying to catch a frog and everything. So that was the first episode. I mean, the first part of the episode. And then Mandalorian comes in. Like, he comes to this like bar thing.
Mm-hmm. And there's this like cool like punk girl over there. She's got like short hair one side, it like swoops over along the other side. I'm like, that's a look. That's a look.
Yeah. And you can tell that she's some sort of fighter.
Oh, yeah.
Like something. Mm-hmm. So, like, I love, like, Baby Yoda is, like, literally walking. Like, there's no egg anymore. Like, he's walking.
Yeah, he's walking around.
He's keeping up with him and everything.
Baby Yoda.
And then the cat that's like...
And he's like... So cute. Someone actually... I saw something... I don't remember what they're called now, but the specific type of cat, someone had a comparison of, like, what it looks like in... the Clone Wars, like the animated show, versus like they look slightly different, but it was really cool to see like the two like side by side. Like the one from the show had like more stripes on him. Yeah. But like still like the same. It was still like basic shape or whatever. And it was really cool to see them like side by side.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like I was playing Fallen Order last night on the stream. Like there was some sort of like cat looking creature, but they were way more agile. Like they were jumping around and all that. So I don't think it's the same species.
Might not be.
So he, gets in there. He orders a drink for the kid.
Bone soup or something.
Yeah.
You gotta stay healthy.
I love this part because like he's asking the bartender about this woman.
Right.
And like she's, telling him, and like he gives her money, and like she's like, oh well, I'll just get you something else. Like she was telling the truth.
Yeah, and in his mind, he's used to being able to like bribe people.
Yeah,
and she's like so great. She's like, oh my, thank you so much. No, I'll get you some more stuff. And he's like, oh.
Yeah, and then like this woman like leaves,
and so he goes and chases her out there, and then they have this fun little tussle outside, and then eventually they stop and they hear slurping, and I was like, please be Baby Yoda, and it cuts and Baby Yoda's like slurping his soup, just watching them having a good old time. So cute. And then then Mando's like, you want some soup?
And like we find out that she's a shock trooper for the Republic. When they first said shock trooper, I thought she was like an Imperial shock trooper.
Yeah.
Which would like totally change things, but she's a Republic shock trooper that was like killing and assassinating people.
And then like once like they were able to establish peace, she's like, we were basically like on escort missions and just like crowd control, and she's like, I didn't sign up for that, so I bounced.
Yeah. So she thought, he had a fob on her, like he was tracking her down or whatever. Cut to the next scene. He's at a ship. Like he's, she tells him, this is my planet. You gotta leave.
Got to go.
We don't need any more attention than we have already.
Right.
So he's at a ship getting ready to leave, and these two farmers come up.
Yeah.
And they're from the village that we saw earlier, and they try to get him to
like help like deal with the raiders. Like, we've scraped together all the money we have, please. And he's like, it's not enough. And they're like, okay, rude, but
yeah, we drove.
It took us all day to get here.
Yeah, we're in a remote village, and that he was like, remote. And like he was like, okay, like he takes the money, goes finds her, gives her the money to come with him, and they start making up a game plan on how to take down
the raiders, and
the raiders, and
then like as they're like exploring through. Well, actually, so they stop in the village, and then they meet the mother, who's you find out she's a widow.
Yeah.
And so she's like, hey, you can like stay in my place, and so he's like, here's Baby Yoda, we gotta go like do some stuff and bounces for a second.
But him and her have a connection.
They do have connection, and like I'll get to it later, but like it was really interesting seeing like how that developed in the episode. But like anyway, so Mando and the woman, who I can't remember her name.
Shock Trooper.
Yeah, we'll call her Shock Trooper. They're going through the forest, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and then they see the footprint. Okay, well, so and then they say, oh, it's an ATST. What's the difference between an AT-AT or an ATST? An ATST.
An ATST is like the chicken walker.
Right. AT-ATs, they have the 4 legs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was.
Like when they first attacked, like I heard the gunfire, and I'm like, that's either an AT-AT or an ATST.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, oh yes, the ATST. I like to call them the ATs.
So like they go in, they have a plan, they start taking them down and everything. They have this fight, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, and then I love so Mando, like because he has a bunch of weapons on his ship, and so he's like, all right, like obviously not just the two of us fight. He goes, how many of you know how to shoot? And no one raises their hand except for the widow, except for the mom. And I was like, ooh, what's your story?
Yeah, and then like they do the whole training montage. It felt like very.
Well, they have that. There's a montage for that, and then there's also a montage in episode 2 whenever they're fixing the ship. And
there's a montage in episode 1 as well when what was it? Like him trying to learn how to ride the
it's a very small montage.
Yeah.
But like full out montage. And I remember in episode 2 thinking, I was like, because Baby Yoda's still asleep when they're fixing the ship, and I was like, well, no wonder he's not aging up. He's sleeping through all the montages. That's when you develop.
But I loved it. It felt like Mulan, like with the...
No, I saw someone online was like, episode 4 was just Mulan.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, he sees how good a shot she is. Like, she's a good shot. And he's just like, all right, girl.
Oh, that's...
All right. So he sees that, and then like they replace what we said about going to the Raiders camp after the montage. Then they go to the Raiders camp to bring them out. Like they built fortifications and everything. They had this whole plan to get the ATSD to step into one of the ponds. And
so they're they just cause some ruckus to get attention. They bring them back to there, and then as they're going, there's those ponds, like the one that the widow hid in earlier, the mom, like the ATST, like it's about to step, and like it goes and it stops because he's like, no, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make us fall in that pond. We're not gonna step in there. What's wrong with you?
The ATST looks so menacing.
It does, because like it's got like the red windows, like they were like bright red. So it's like and it's like because like there's a huge
like some
forest.
Kind of beast.
Yeah, because like the way especially like the way they film it, because like the village is right along the edge of a forest, and like when you see like the trees rustling when it's coming through the forest, like eventually like you start to see like the red peer through the trees, and it looks like this giant monster. Yeah, which like it works so well because it's this like small remote village. Yeah. So then like I mean, it is this gigantic monster.
Yeah.
It was super cool to see like how they did that.
And like you've never seen one of them operate like at night in the movies. Like so you've never seen like it lit up like that. So I thought that was really
cool to see. And then eventually like they like the shock trooper, she's like, no, I'm gonna get closer to like try to lure him in. So she like goes, hides in one of the ponds and like shooting. So in order for the ATST to get like a good shot on her, he has to move forward. Then moves forward, falls in the pit, and they're able to take it down.
So they I love the two farmers took on the leader of the bandits.
Yeah, for sure.
And actually killed him.
It was awesome.
I
loved it. It was so great.
It was so good. So, they take care of the bandits and everything, and Mando's like, all right, I'm going to leave the kid here with you.
Yeah, they make it seem like a little bit of time has passed.
Yeah.
I guess, I think it was they stayed around to make sure it didn't happen again or something, because they made it sound like it'd been, at least a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
But although before that, so, there's one moment earlier when they're all still okay, we got to make this plan and do this and that, which I really liked. It was, this very small thing. But anyway, so, Mando and Baby Yoda are hanging out in the hut that they're letting them stay in. Mm-hmm. And the mom and the daughter come in, and the daughter's like, oh, can I play with him? And he's like, yeah, sure. And has this protective parent moment. She goes to take him outside to play with the other kids, and Amanda's like, wait. And mom's like, no, they're gonna be fine. He's like, but and mom's like, no, they're gonna be okay, I promise. Yeah. It's this very protective father moment. It's really sweet. And then the mom's like, oh, I brought you some food because I noticed like you didn't eat out there in front of everyone else, you know, and I'll leave it here for you whenever I leave.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, thank you. That means a lot to me because, yeah, he can't take his helmet off in front of other people. And so she asks, she's like, she's like, you know, when she's like, well, actually, she's like, can I ask you something? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? And she's like, oh, when was the last time you took your helmet off in front of another person? And he points to the kids outside and he goes, I was about their age. And she's like, it's been that long since anyone else has seen your face. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah. This is the way.
Yeah, he's like, this is the way. And then,
this is the way.
But like, it was just so, like,
it's so telling about the character though.
Yeah.
Like why he's so isolated because, like, seeing someone's face is like how you like build a rapport with them.
Exactly. And then it also shows like why he sympathizes so much for children because he went through something traumatic as a child. And also during one of his flashbacks, because his parents like hide him in this little like bunker thing and close it above him. Yeah. And to me, I see it's like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a parallel to Baby Yoda's egg thing that closes up like this. And it's like he sees himself as this kid.
Yeah, definitely.
Or he sees himself in the kid, I should say.
And I love like the character development. I know like Baby Yoda like doesn't talk or anything, but like he is around all these kids, like he's being brought into,
and he's having fun. Like you see him laughing and he's having fun. But like, and yeah, like you said, so like after they have the fight, and also like there's like times like the mom is like she is super into Mando. She is I am here for this. Amanda's like, maybe.
So yeah, like this whole thing, and like he's like, okay, like he's talking to Shock Trooper, and he's like,
and Shock Trooper's like, dude, like. She's clearly into you.
Yeah.
It's like, stay here. And he's like, I don't think I can do that. And she's like, dude, you don't understand.
Yeah, he's like, just take off the armor and put it away.
Yeah,
and be done
like,
with it. Like raise your son.
Yeah, it's like.
And I love that, like.
Everyone always refers to him, like all the people in the village, they call Baby Yoda Mando's son.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
So sweet.
But all good things must come to an end.
Right.
We see this bounty hunter with a fob. Coming up towards the village. He's got a sniper rifle.
He's got it aimed on Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he sees Mando, and Mando's talking to the widow.
Yeah, and like there's a moment that they have where like because like you can tell like he was almost going to let it happen, but then like the last moment, like she goes to like lift off his helmet, and she gets it pretty far. But then he stops and he goes, "No, I can't. I'm sorry." And she's like, "No, I understand. It's okay."
Then you hear the shot fire,
and he's like, "Oh, where's my son?"
Because like the next thing you see is like. It like zeroed in on Baby Yoda. You hear the shot fire, and it's that one. That happens when it's like cut to Mando and the widow.
Yeah, and he's like,
but in my mind, I was like, I know Shock Trooper got this.
Right.
I know Shock Trooper.
Yeah, and then it cuts to them in the woods. Shock Trooper, shot him in the back and was like, nah.
So he sees like he's not safe there. People are still tracking him.
Yeah, so he takes Baby Yoda. And they hightail out of there.
Yeah, they get out of there. That's episode 4. I think episode 3 is still better than episode 4, in my opinion. I think episode 4 is better than the other 2.
I think I think it was really good. I keep hitting the mic. It was really good in terms of like just development.
Oh yeah.
3 has definitely been the best like action sequences. But I loved 4 just because like it showed like that this like super, hard, tough guy, very monotone expressions, and like you never see him like that. He does have this very sweet, soft side, and you can see that there is a part of him that does want to settle down.
Yeah, that doesn't want a normal life.
Yeah, and the fact that he did want what was best for Baby Yoda, and so he's like, if this is what's best for him, then I want to leave him here. But then he's also like, okay, well, he's not safe here. People aren't safe. Like, so it shows this like, it's still him, but you see this side of him that you kind of knew was there because of his interactions with Baby Yoda, but you see it like in full swing, and it's also like it's okay for him to feel this way, but.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. Like, it was a good episode. I just like the action.
No, I totally get it.
3. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, whenever I saw that she directed, I was like, really?
Which that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And episode 3, what is her name? It's like Cho something or Choi. I can't remember. But there's been 2 female directors so far on the series, which I think is really, really cool.
I love that. It's so great.
And I know there's a lot of people like, well, they're going to put a female in there with voice lines. Episode 4, you had Shock Trooper in there.
And Shock Trooper's awesome. Like, and you have the mom who's like a total bad. Like, she's so cool.
Yeah, she's awesome. Like, there was a lot more lot more characters in episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they, again, keep doing such a good job of building characters up.
Yep.
They're not just placeholders.
Mm-hmm. Like they actually have like lives and stories.
Yeah. And that's good storytelling. So.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for episode or chapter 5. They're calling them chapters.
Yeah.
But like, I'm
5.
super excited for chapter 5.
Yeah. So there you go.
There's long-winded.
1 through 4. Let us know what you thought about The Mandalorian in the description down below.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda.
If you want more of these, let us know also by liking, subscribing, following, and all that good stuff wherever you're watching everything. We appreciate you taking out your time.
Yeah.
Check out more awesome things from the Nerd Cave. We're fixing to do some really, really fun.
Yeah, I'm real excited.
And interesting stuff.
It's going to be fun.
There you go. This has been Zach.
And Allie.
Y'all have a blessed week.